Hello, my name is Ibrahim Gunsiver, and today I'm going to be talking about password handling and best practices regarding the issue of password handling. Passwords. What are they and why should I care? So what is a password basically? Well, a password is a string of characters that allows access to a computer system or service. It's the first line of defense that secures your information from curious eyes. Passwords are the key to protecting your personal information as well as your organization's. So a password is, you can think of a password as the key, and then you can think of the lock as, your personal information or your very sensitive information pertaining to your specific company that you work for. And that key, you want to make sure that key is as strong and as tough as possible, because if that key is weak and anybody can just take it and open up the lock, then your information's out there and it would be detrimental to your personal life and detrimental and costly for your business. Also, fun fact, 80% of hacking related breaches are still tied to passwords. So what this means is by having a weaker password, so let's say, if a company had a breach and you had one of those generic passwords 1234, 12356, and if somebody could tell that your name was attached to that, they could hit all your accounts. And yeah, so having secure passwords is important. So what is a secure password? Well, secure passwords contain a mix of uppercase and lowercase letters, numbers, and symbols. You want to make sure, if you have a password that, you're not having repeating characters such as 111 or, hello, hello, hello. You may want to make sure that your password doesn't have, your favorite color, your birth date, things of that nature. You want to make sure you have a long, complex password. Longer passwords are better than random passwords, provided that the password is between 12 and 15 characters long, because you can have a very complex password, but if it's short, it's going to be a lot easier for the hackers to brute force your password and figure out what it is, and then they have access to information. And then when I talk about brute force, well, what brute force is, it's basically what it is it's a method that hackers may use to kind of figure out what your password is. So how it works is they'll have like a dictionary full of different words, and they'd run it through a script. And what the script would do is it would take each word in the dictionary and try to put it against your password and figure it out. And then eventually, if your password's simple, like, I don't know, baby blue horse or baby blue horse 5, it wouldn't take too long for the script to figure out your password. Whereas if you had a long, complex password with a bunch of random symbols, it will be a lot harder to hack. So an example of insecure passwords. So passwords that contain basic information such as your name are considered weak passwords. Passwords such as 12345, password, and hello are one of the most unsecure passwords commonly used today. One of the things I work in the IT field. One of the things I tell my colleagues is please, please, please do not write your passwords on paper. Yes, I know it's easy. I know it's easy to find, but you put your password on a piece of paper, your coworker or a visitor in the building has access to that password, and they can steal your personal information or company information that will cost the company money and probably your job. So I would highly suggest to save do not put your passwords on paper. Also, don't save it as a plain text file. I've seen people that, would have a text document on the desktop that says passwords. If a hacker got into your computer, they'd be able to see all those passwords. If you left your computer unlocked and you went to go grab a drink of water, one of your coworkers could hop on your computer and see those passwords. I've also seen people change the icon of Internet Explorer to change the name from Internet Explorer to their password, and that's just a big no-no. It may be easier to remember, but this is not the safe way to store your passwords. How should I store my password then? Well, there's many ways you can store your password, and one of the commonly used ways that I use personally, there's a suite of software available that allows you to create and store passwords across devices. This suite of software is called Password Managers, and one of the most commonly used ones is LastPass and Dashlane. So LastPass and Dashlane, what is a password manager? Well, a password manager stores your passwords in an encrypted file. No one can have access unless they have the password to the password manager's password. So basically, you have the password manager, okay? It's like consider it as a vault, right? And there's this one main password for that vault. But once you unlock that vault, you'll have passwords for all of the different accounts. So instead of, think of it as a text file, right? So, but it's encrypted, and the only way you can get in is if you have the main password to the vaults. And I highly recommend this because, one great thing about the password managers is you can share your passwords across devices and it's encrypted, and only you with your password is able to access this specific vault. Another benefit of these password managers is that, when you're on a new website or you're creating a new account, they have the ability to actually suggest and create secure passwords for you. So that way, if you're sitting and you can be like, damn, what password can I create? I can't remember, I need something that I can, you don't have to worry about any of that. The password manager takes control of, creating the password and saving it. So there's nothing you have to do on your part. You just have to make sure you're signed into the password manager. Now, I know some of you are thinking, oh, well, Chrome saves my passwords for me. Firefox saves my passwords for me. Why should I get, a password manager? And the thing is with those programs, Chrome and Firefox, they save your password as plain text. So anyone can go in and see your passwords. And, it's not a secure way to do it. Whereas managers like LastPass and Dashlane, they secure your password in a secure file. And there's other ways. So other ways you can secure accounts. So, besides, using your passwords, we made sure that, you have a password manager, made sure you have a complex password. Where's other ways I can secure my accounts? Well, besides a password manager to store your password, it is recommended to have various types of passwords for each account you have. So just because you have a password manager that can remember everything, doesn't mean you should have every account have the same lovely password. You want to make sure you have a complex password for each and every account you have, and if you have a password manager, that just makes this process more easier. You want to make sure also, what I would suggest is, do not share your passwords with other people. Keep that stuff to yourself. If you want to share your Netflix password, make sure you change that password. And I also suggest to change your password every 30 days, just to reduce the chance of your information being leaked. Another way you can secure your account is by using two-factor authentication. Well, what is two-factor authentication? Two-factor authentication depends on the three factors of authentication, which is something you know. This could be a PIN code or something else like the answers to your security questions. Something you have, for example, your phone, which can receive authentication code via SMS, or your physical credit card, which you can verify using, the code on the back. And then something you are. Biometric data such as your fingerprint or, face. So this would come into play with your, with the Apple Face ID software. Basically, you would enter in your password and then it would verify you are who you say you are by using your fingerprint or by using your face scan. And the way two-factor works is, you would type in, you would sign into your, whatever the account is with your password, and then it would send a text message to your phone or a notification. You would press on that notification, approve, and it will allow you into the account. And there's many various different ways to implement two-factor. One of the methods I just mentioned was Azure MFA. Microsoft Azure is one of the most commonly used towards Office accounts. And basically what it is basically a notification will pop up on your phone. You click approve if you are trying to log in, or you can click deny, and that's if, let's say, you're staying at home and you get a notification on your phone, but you're not going anywhere near your Office account. Then I would highly suggest clicking deny, and that way it's like kind of a second factor, another way of you preventing someone unauthorized from logging into your account. You can also use a physical form of two-factor, such as a YubiKey. And a YubiKey is a device that you would plug into your computer, and this would allow the device to confirm who you are, who you say you are. So it's kind of like another way. It's another way to authenticate you are who you are. So, if you're signing into your computer and you don't want to enter a password, if you plop in a YubiKey, this device verifies you are who you say you are. And then in summary, by following the information contained in the previous slides, you can help protect your personal information and the sensitive information of your company. Remember, passwords are only as good as the methods used to store them. Use password managers to store passwords. Do not store as a text file. Also, I highly suggest to use two-factor authentication wherever possible. This is a proven way to reduce the chance of your data being seen by the wrong people. And yeah, so that is my presentation for today. I highly suggest, you look into your accounts, make sure you have secure passwords, and enable two-factor authentication wherever possible. All right? And these are the sources I used for this. So I hope you guys have a great day.